They're making sure the ball is suitably organised here. The referee taking a while as we wait for Rafley to take the free kick. Now there's a lecture for Ferrari and Segovia. Plenty of movement in there, and after the big build-up, it's easily nudged away at the near post by Guerra-Ripa. Adrian Kova to take the throw here. Picked on by Perez. That took an awkward bobble in front of Chaya Supriyadi. He did well actually to get anything on that. Could have been one of those horrible moments for the goalkeeper. He always knew it would be tough for his side here. Doncic. They've started okay. Just expect the Venezuela players, given the level they're playing at and the kind of players they're playing with, even if it's Spanish youth sides, it's still a very, very high level. They might just know a little bit too much. Saw that with Panamanian side yesterday. Even at the ages they are, really together as a team and real good game management as well. Takes you a long way, that. Big climb from Ferro, and this is Perez, but Chaya Supriyadi does really well off his line. Here's Edgar Amping. Cross comes, big centre half, Andres Ferro. It's lofted forward, and just the first touch of Perez took it away from him. Guerra-Ripa with a really clever touch forward there. Forward by Emerson Ruiz. Amping gave it away. There's Segovia. Nice run in behind by La Cava. Now Guerra-Ripa, deflection, good stop from Chaya. Venezuela just cranking up the pressure a little more. La Cava with the header inside. Lovely turn from Ronaldo. Great bit of individual skill, and he's fouled again. And they'll start just having a look at the referee a bit here. It's the second clear foul on Indonesia's best player. As that deflection, it was a useful hit in the end from Guerra-Ripa, and after the deflection, it's a good save, that. Challenged by Ferro. Plays for Metropolitanos in the Venezuela League. 6 appearances this season at the Copa Sudamericana, effectively the Europa League in South America. It's not an exact comparison, but it's probably the best we've got. Here's Ronaldo. Yason Chacon. Perez had gone far too early with his run, but that's really good play from La Cava. Just pulled over, was he? Well, he thinks he was. Segovia couldn't find a way through. He's a clever player, isn't he?
One country, two continents. It's perhaps one of the most passionate fan bases in the world. Incredible players, battles that defy all odds. The Turkish Super League. The 2022-2023 season returns in August, only on beIN Sports Extra.
Quickly, not easily. Perez straight away acknowledging that he chose the wrong option there. Go short, and Ronaldo had been told by his coach to pick up that run. Venezuela have got a player over at the far post, and Guarerapa with the header. It's another good save by Supriyadi. Giving it away again here, Indonesia. This is Lakaba, excellent challenge. Really good tackle that. Pamungkas needed to win it. Yeah, it's a good stop. Just needed to generate his own power a bit, didn't he, Guarerapa? But twice now he's come close. This time, players called over are Pamungkas and Ferro. Ferro should be a real threat, shouldn't he, from these set pieces. One goal in the league this season. It's a good delivery, and it was Perez. He saw that all the way, but couldn't guide it inside the far post. He had a really good look at that, but came off the shoulder. Fernando Batista watching on there, the man in charge of this Venezuela side. Brother of 1986 World Cup winner Sergio. It's Adrian Kova with the throw. Segovia just not quite able to turn into space. Here's Lakava. Now Ronaldo. Needs to be cleverer than that. He's already shown us that he has a trick and can beat a player, Ronaldo. Here's Rusadi. Referee didn't like the force of the challenge there on Arkan Fikri. There's Rafley to play it forward. Conde across to mop up any danger. Knee ligament injury for him this season kept him out for a fair part of it. Still managed 20 first-team appearances. He's another with a full international cap. Oscar Conde. As Venezuela got towards the end of their unsuccessful qualifying campaign, one or two of the younger players were thrown in, and Chacon and Conde part of that. Swinging corner and fairly confident header from Perez. Already saw Group A get underway yesterday. Argentina, France, Panama and Saudi Arabia. Argentina with a very narrow win against Saudi Arabia, and France and Panama drew 0-0. Panama winning that penalty shootout to give them 2 points to France's 1. Group C, Algeria, Colombia, Comoros and Japan underway tomorrow. That Comoros side is a very interesting team when you look at where the players have been gathered from. Is Edgar Damping. Now Perez. He's been caught just under the knee. That looked a painful one. So Ferrari with the challenge. Let's have another look at it. I think it's the way he falls. Well, he tries to jump over him to win the ball. It's clumsy at best there. I don't think it was a deliberate stamp, but it had exactly the same effect. You need to be a lot more aware of what you're doing with your body than that. He's lucky to not get a card for that. Matias Lacava to take this free kick then. The angle's right for his left foot as he drifted in towards the far post. I think he'll be fairly happy so far. Jenan Radoncic. Batista's side have been the better side, no question about that, but Indonesia dealt with the challenge okay so far. Ghana in Vitrol coming up next for Indonesia, and then Mexico back here. Other way round in terms of those challenges for Venezuela. There's Ferro. See the people going about their daily lives in Albania. In the background of that picture, that fairly iconic bridge with the tram that goes over it. Shoved in the back there. That looked a rather painful fall for Arkan Fikri. Yeah, that was a strong challenge by Segovia. You put into context where these squads come from. It's easy to watch games like this and think that they're at the same stage of development, but Velasco Segovia, for example, who just made that challenge, has made 57 appearances in the top flight in Venezuela. One or two of the Venezuelan players have that kind of experience, and up against Indonesia players who are still finding their way, really. If they have played in the first team, they haven't done so much in the Indonesian league, so they're doing well so far. Mad country, Indonesia, of course, and it's developing all the time. Such a pool of talent. Here's Ronaldo. Back from Pamungkas to Rusadi, and now Chaya. Still on the front foot, Venezuela. Rapper with the ball in towards Perez, but it's a good claim from Chaya. Shown himself to a really good pair of hands. He's made 2 good saves already. Yet to make a league appearance. He's at Persia Jakarta, been with them since the under-16s. There's Rafley. Chacon beaten to it, and that's nodded out of play by Edgard. Adriankova with the throw for Ferro. Mentioned the Indonesia players adjusting to the challenge and created chances for this player, Daniel Perez. The goalkeeper's made a couple of good saves. The Venezuelans will feel that if they continue in this way, then they're certainly going to create more chances. And if they take one, they might grab 2 and 3. Feels like that kind of game.
Hey, back up, back up. No, back up. Yeah.
The Carver to take the corner then. Deep once again, and far too deep. It's been a very deliberate tactic so far. It's been interesting these last few years, Venezuelan football, because you remember the glorious performance in the Under-20 World Cup when they reached the final back in 2017, beaten by England in that final. It just felt like that would herald a real breakthrough in South American terms for the Venezuelan international side. Of course, it still might. Those players are still young, but hasn't quite progressed as they would have liked, and they were poor in the recent World Cup qualifiers. Peckerman has taken over now and will hope to take them to great things. In terms of individuals, well, the likes of Fariñez, the brilliant goalkeeper, who's seen his progress stopped a little bit stalled at Lens. More on that in a moment. Indonesia sweep it back, but the likes of Ferraresi played for the national side already. Yangel Herrera, well in MLS. Jefferson Soteldo didn't do so well in MLS, now playing at Tigres in Mexico. Come close to qualifying for a World Cup to give it a real go. I think the general feeling is the talent pool is much bigger than their... Jesus Paz to take the throw. Noticeable start of the game. Indonesia were really looking to play out from the back, and almost adapted a little bit and gone a bit longer. And now they're perhaps growing in confidence. Might yet be their undoing. Plenty of quality on that Venezuela bench. Here's Edgard. Took on Chacon there. Did well to drift away from him, and now Ronaldo, who needs to stay involved. Forward by Rafley. This is much better from Indonesia, and Samuel Rodriguez called into action for just about the first time. Here they come again, Indonesia, again growing in confidence. Laid back there for Rafley to hit. That's Pamungkas. Oh, they've got a free kick in a dangerous area. It's a yellow card as well for Saul Guarani.
A new challenge. A new hope. The greatest challenge. The chance. The joy and upsets. The Ligue 1 2022-2023 season returns in August. Only on beIN Sports Extra.
Mata al que sea, hermano. Habla, ¿viste? Grita. Mata al que sea, tío, para ti. Vamos, muchachos, inteligente. Inteligente.
Well, it's Mohamed Rafley who's going to take it. Another few words near the penalty spot before we get things underway. And another miscue. Just feel that those set pieces can be a real route to success for Indonesia. Delivery hasn't been good enough so far. Here's Andres Ferro. Jesus Paz. Still the closest we've come to a goal. The deflected strike from Guarani, his header as well. Both well saved by Chaya. Perez has had a couple of chances. That headed chance, you know, the one he shouldered wide was a very good one. Well, we are going to have a water break now. Normally a good excuse for both coaches to do a little bit of coaching as well, but important that the players take on as much fluid as possible here. So just over the half hour and the cooling break. Well, still goalless here, and that means that in what has been an uncharacteristically slow start to this year's Tournoi Maurice Rivella, we've still only had one goal from open play. The Venezuelans are in the house to support their side. Good atmosphere in Aubagne yesterday for France getting their tournament underway, and Argentina as well. I would imagine when Algeria start, we'll have quite an atmosphere too. Always very well supported when they're playing in France. Batista, I think, will be just reinforcing his pre-match messages here in terms of what they've done so far. There was the ball in. Clever ball, isn't it, from Rafley to tee it up down the right-hand side, but it's a fairly comfortable grab for Samuel Rodriguez, and there's the header from Guarirapa. It's well saved by Chaya. He's always having to generate his own power there at the far post. I think the closest we've come was the Perez header wide. And also that deflected shot from Guarirapa, that could have gone anywhere. It was a good reaction save, that, from Chaya. Well, we will be able to get back underway here. Will we have a pre-half-time breakthrough for Batista's side? Mustn't allow Perez to get too isolated. The Venezuela number 9, he needs players around him. To play until half-time, although a few minutes added to that. First of these Tournoi Maurice Revellos was back in 1967. Clubs involved then. Anderlecht beat Slovan Bratislava in the final. Fair to say things have developed a bit since. Forward by Segovia. Nice 1-2 there, but no power on the shot. It's had a good half, though, Telasco Segovia of Deportivo Lara. Always awkward for him on that left side. There's Rusadi. By Fikri, now Perez. It's Saul Guarirapa. He's rather more nimble-footed, Guarirapa, than his frame would suggest. Indonesia looking to counter now. Edgard. Rusadi. That's been their route, hasn't it, down that right-hand side. Captain Ferrari trying to pick out the run that time. Got good pace, Chayana. I think they've worked out that that's a fairly good matchup for them. Forward by Ferro. really clumsy push in the back. Emerson Ruiz. Now Ferrari. Here's Rusadi. Little touch from Ronaldo. Challenge there from Emerson Ruiz that was full of frustration. Venezuela not having things their own way. Don't forget Mexico taking on Ghana in our second game later on. There's another foul from Emerson Ruiz. Given that saw a yellow card for Guerrero Rapper earlier on, that's 2 from Emerson in the space of a minute. Oh, don't know. There wasn't too much contact, was there? And he's pulled out of it. I haven't got one of these set pieces right yet. And Arkan Fikri is the man who's going to try and change that trend here. Five to go until half time. Again, they don't beat the first defender. Again, it's too easy for Perez. There's a flag up over on the far side against Chayana. Kova. Now Guerrero Rapper. That's a clever ball in towards Lacava. It's a really good defensive challenge. One for which the price has been paid. Was an awkward landing there for Edgard. Just about anticipated, though. He did really well to get across. Well, he'll be a fairly frustrated figure, Fernando Batista. His team's played okay, but things quite gone to plan in the final third. Well, we wait to get the game back underway. If there's any question that Doncic will be the happier coach in terms of where the game is, not necessarily in terms of who's the better side, but the Indonesia team has grown into this, and this man Ronaldo hasn't had a great deal to do with it so far. He might do now, though. And he got himself into a good position. I suppose he felt it was worth it. It's always difficult running a cross goal like that. He couldn't really set himself properly. He's been the most threatening player of the half, Saul Guarerapa. Perez lost out there and stopped playing for a moment. Forward by Nico. It will be another Indonesia free kick from similar position in which they've already had 2 or 3. And when you're the outsider going into tournaments like this, I always think you need to have worked so hard on your set pieces. They can be a real leveler. I know they're not a massive team, Indonesia, but it doesn't always matter. They haven't got one of these right so far. Can they at least beat the first defender? This time they can. All looks a little predictable though. 2 added minutes. It's been entertaining enough. Venezuela with the chances. Chaya Supriyadi's done well in that Indonesia goal, but signs in the last 10 minutes of this first half that Indonesia just playing their way into things a bit. I wonder where their goals are going to come from. Charaka's being asked to lead the line, but not sure how much of a cutting edge they've got. We'll have to see about that. Venezuela certainly have the quality in those forward areas with the likes of Perez and Guarerapa and Lacava, who's shown flashes of brilliance. Over the top towards Chacon. Well organised though, his team. Here's Lacava. Turn behind for Venezuela corner. Right at the end of this first half. In beyond everyone, and it's gone out of play. And that should do it for the first half of our first.
0-0 after 45 minutes of play at the Stade de l'Atre between Indonesia and Venezuela as we begin group play in Group B. The halftime show's coming up after a break. Do not go anywhere.
The CAF Champions League final is here. A new champion will be crowned. Al Ahly, Wydad AC,